Welcome, Atlanta.
I guess my first question is, looking back at last season, what's the message coming into this new one and wanting to improve from the last season?
That's an interesting question. I would say mentality. Like, we're pushing more aggressiveness, more that we want to win this year. It looks a lot better compared to last year. Last year we were a lot more defensive. We had a lot more defensive players this year with all the new players that came in. They're really like pushing the returners as well. So we're all just pushing forward, and it's more progressing forward and just getting goals.
What has it been like adding in some of those new players to the roster and getting to know them a little bit more?
I think getting to know them has been going well, and then adding the new players to the roster, like Danny said, our aggressive have picked up like 10 times what we have been going. At practice, the speed is 10 times faster, games 10 times faster.
How has that shift been, kind of going from more defensively to then switching and then going a little bit more offensively than we've ever used to?
I'd say chaotic. I think we're still a bit chaotic because we're so eager to go forward. So like just now I feel like we're starting to settle down a bit more and then get to passing and possession, that's the word. Get to possession more.
Being some of the veterans on the team and being here for a little bit longer, what has been kind of your leadership status in helping these newcomers come in and really getting to know what you guys are trying to play like here? Like,
You've been here the longest. I just transferred.
I am captain. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, ask that again.
What has it been like for you, kind of helping some of the newcomers come in and like teaching them what you guys are trying to do here at Clayton State, whether it's message, mentality, or how you guys play?
Oh, perfect. I think it all starts with initial interactions. So I think even you did this too. When we first met the new people, we kept it very positive, very, hey, welcome to our team. We showed what we wanted, attitude-wise, in our team, more positivity, rather than we used to be a bit more negative. This year, we're more go, 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 happy, go-getter.
More teamwork.
Yeah, it's a lot more, we're a bigger team and more connected now.
What has it been like for you? What have been your initial impressions first off coming to Clayton State? How are you liking it so far?
I think that I transferred last year. Compared to last year and this year, I feel like this year with the new people and everyone else here, it's more positive and like more aggressive, and just speed is faster. And I actually feel a lot more closer than the team than I did last year.
My last question is, are there any specific matchups you guys are circling on the map this season for you guys?
Ooh, personally, Lander. We're coming. North Georgia.
Yeah,
We're coming.
Georgia.
Those Flagler, you're at home. We're coming. I'm gonna add all of them. Oh, GSW. Won't repeat again what happened last year. We're coming. That's pretty much. We got it. Everyone, you're all done.
Nice. All right. How important is the culture of the team to success in your mind?
I'll go first, then you go.
Yeah, I want something for both y'all.
Personally, I think the culture really affects how I think about myself and the game in general. So like if the culture is bad and it's very negative, I go into the game very negative. I go into, oh, we're gonna lose already. It's a losing mentality. That's why I think it's important to have like a strong bond and a strong mentality, so then it keeps individuals from coming into negative.
I agree with her. Say like someone's negative and it rubs off on me, then I will go in the game negative. But if it's in the game already, like before the game already started, I can keep my positivity as me.
You mentioned some of the opponents in the Peach Belt. It's a really good conference, a really competitive conference. You know, what are y'all's goals this season in the conference?
Definitely played the formation that he's been wanting to play for the past years correctly, and then just being in shape. That's the hard thing for the formation we are going to do.
Doing better than last year, like getting maybe 4 more wins. There was a lot of games we lost last year that really we shouldn't have lost at all. And that was because we just weren't there mentally at those games. So I think that's mainly our goal, to be there mentally every game and win.
And have safe trips.
Safe trips. Safe trips.
And then Carrie, you mentioned the formation. Talk about something from both of you guys about how would you describe the way that you expect your team to look this year? You're talking to somebody who's never seen you play. How do you describe how Clayton State's going to look on the field this year?
From our previous years, I expect us to have really good defense this year, and then just scoring a lot more goals instead of having goals scored on us.
Yeah. I would expect faster play too. More possession keeping and more like decision making in the final third. That's what I would say. We've been working a lot on that. So not just shooting to shoot, this time actually going, progressing until we can shoot.
Both of you guys are freshmen. What's it been like kind of getting into preseason, getting ready to get into the season? How you liking Clayton State so far?
I really like it. It's new for me. It's my first time in America as well, so it's a lot new. But the soccer here is good. The school is very good. I'm pleased, and most of all, like, the girls are amazing. So I don't know if you want to fill in.
I agree with Tuva. I think it's been a great experience so far. A lot of new things, of course, because we're from Scandinavia and this is America. But yeah, I enjoy it so far.
What has it been like getting to know a lot of the girls here and kind of learning a little bit more of what the mentality and what the structure is here at Clayton State?
Yeah, they're more like talkative than in Sweden, I would say. Everyone is like, hi. So that's new for me, but I like it because it's easier to get to know each other when you're more like talkative and forward.
Yeah, it also opens up for us to push each other more, like on the field, because I know in Scandinavia we don't talk that much to each other. It's more like always positive. Here we can be a little bit more concrete, like, come on girls, we got this, push it harder and stuff like that. So I feel like that's been really good this preseason. We push each other and it's a bit hard, it really has, but when we have the girls, then it's good. So yeah.
What initially drew you guys to Clayton State and what made you decide that you wanted to come and play here?
So for me, it was the first impression of the coach, actually. I decided very early. That was actually the only school I talked to, because he told me just straight away that if you don't have a dream of playing on the national team, or if you don't have a dream to be a professional, don't come here. So I just knew that, okay, this is going to be a good squad. This is like people I want to be around.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me. I got a good first impression of Ross and of the school, like, overall. It's a pretty big school, close to Atlanta, and I thought like the soccer level would be good for me.
What has it been like getting to have a couple training sessions under your belt a little bit, working with him, working with the new coach, and getting to know him a little bit more and how he is as a coach when you guys are in those training sessions?
Yeah, at first it was very different from Sweden because like the coach culture here is very different. But now I feel like I'm getting into it and getting used to it more, and I like how he's a leader and how he's very like strict and clear with everything. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's really just the same, like how it's very strict, and the respect you have for the coach here is a little bit different with how you always like say coach and all that. In Scandinavia it's often just the first name, so that's a bit different, but I like it because it makes a standard of like he is the boss, like he's the coach, so you listen to him, you don't talk back, and I like that.
Yeah, it's like professionalism. It feels like that.
How are you guys handling the balance of the soccer and the classwork?
It's a big difference from what I'm used to, so it's been a rough start. We do have also online classes, which are new for us. It's a lot more school than what I thought. So the first weeks when we just had soccer, I was like, oh, I'm living life, this is lovely, and then, oh, I forgot I have school as well. So it was a big step, it was, but I think it's gonna be fine when we like start getting into it.
Yeah, I like to have the like soccer because then I feel like I can focus better in school. but of course it's been tough from the beginning as a start, because it was, as Tuva said, the first week we only had soccer, and then it was a big difference. But yeah.
How different is the style of play here from what you're used
to? It's much more physical. It's a lot more running. We're not used to that. I never had a lot of running. It was more like focus on how to play, and we used a lot more like focus on the passing and not like, just not all of the physical stuff though. That's just the biggest difference, I think.
I would say a little bit more physical and more straightforward than in Sweden, but not very big difference.
My first question will just be, for people who might not know about Clayton State or the team here, what would you describe as the culture or what playing style you guys like to play here?
Yeah, tough question to start with. It took me about 3 years to sort of rebuild the culture and the team. We used to be heavily international, which obviously brings a lot of culture, a lot of different cultures within the game and within life in general. We've managed to increase our roster size, leveled it out to about 50-50 domestic student athletes and international. So that's helped us create a baseline for our culture to be positive with each other, to incorporate the various different things that each individual brings from their hometowns, whether that's in the States or their countries. But I think the big thing for us over the past 2 to 3 years is getting a winning mentality with a competitiveness, but also understanding we are a unit, we are a whole group, no individuals, freshmen versus juniors, it does not matter. We all regard each other at the same level, and with that we've been able to create a really good unity at the moment. We will see. Obviously when we get into the season, things may get a little tougher, but yeah, we're very diverse, we have a lot of culture, but a big thing for us this year is the unity within the squad.
And I mean, looking at last season and taking last season, looking at now, what were some of the things that you want to try and clean up or fix anything that happened from last season going into this one?
Yeah, I mean, 2 big things is dropping 2 or 3 games we should not have dropped, in my opinion. 2 away games with conference opposition, we struggled, and so this year we're looking to implement our own sort of energy and style into the game, rather than at times last season we sort of suppressed other teams and worked to nullify other teams versus do what we wanted to do. Obviously you have to have the caliber of player to do that, and I think this squad has that now, so we're looking to dictate a little bit more, control games. When there's chaos, when there's a lot of transition, can we be the smart ones that put our foot on the ball and keep it, rather than defending a lot. We defended a lot last year, we were very good at it, my unit was very strong, but the game is a lot more than that, and so hopefully this year we won't drop games we should not drop, and therefore we will be able to control and really dictate how our season goes. And that's the biggest hope, is that we just go out there and show what we've improved on and who we are now, versus maybe a little bit of naivety from coaching staff and players to worry about not conceding goals versus going to score goals.
Sounds like being more proactive is a big focal point coming into this season. You feel like you've got a group of players that are embracing that and adapting to it?
We are getting there. I coach very much to allow the players and the unit to make their own decisions. I don't want to dictate joystick coaching. I don't want to say do this, do that, do that. With that, you have to give a lot of coaching points. You have to talk to the ladies a lot. And obviously, with the diversity within our squad, some ladies have a different idea of how to keep possession or switch the play versus others. So we've spent a lot of time in addressing the whole group of, here's the ideas that we should be looking at, here are the trigger points that we need to be reading, and then they go make their decisions. Yes, we're going to make mistakes, or our decision making may be a little bit off at times, but the hope is as we hit the season, get into the conference season, I don't have to dictate from the sideline. The ladies are making their own decisions. for that to happen, everyone has to be on board. And so that is part of what we're doing through pre-season is talking with the ladies. They're asking questions. We help them understand. This is what we want. This is what you can look to do. But again, the game of soccer is expression, right? It's individual and unit expression. I want my team to do that by making the right decisions, understanding what we should be doing, and really, dictating from that, rather than, hey, we're always going to do this. We are always going to play here. We're always going to find this person on the ball. I think if we get to that point, it's going to be extremely hard to conquer us as such. I don't believe we will go undefeated, although that would be fantastic. But I hope that we are able to work out the challenges within games a little bit quicker this season with the overall understanding from the squad. Yeah.
It's a tough conference. It's a really good women's soccer conference and good competition for you guys as you try to climb the ladder. You know, when you look at the Peach Belt and your experience in it, how would you describe the culture of women's soccer in the Peach Belt?
I think it's very good. So without downgrading the men's side, we have more teams for a start, right? So we don't have to play teams twice. Every 90-minute game really matters in the Peach Belt for the women's side. And there's really, every game is competitive. Right across the board. Like I said, we dropped 2 games last year. I don't believe we should have dropped. But that just holds testament to the conference itself. We also have quite a diverse way of playing. Some teams are quite direct. Some teams like to swing the ball and possess, and some teams will just punch on the counter-attack non-stop. And so working that out is enjoyable. Like, I enjoy that aspect of coaching and you know, game film analysis, watching games, understanding, you know, I get to know some of the coaches and what they are looking to do and implement. So then it's working out, okay, well, how do I outwit you? How does my team go and defeat your team in your plan, in your structure? But I think, yeah, with the likes of Columbus, Flagler, North Georgia, Lander, thereabouts, we are always having 2 or 3 nationally ranked teams. For us, that's fantastic. And admittedly, especially with this recruiting class, we use that. A lot of players that want to go Division 1 or go to the next level, I'm saying, well, come test yourself here, because this is about as competitive as you're going to get at this level. And I think that many of the teams in the Peach Belt could challenge the Division 1 teams. Obviously, as you go higher, athleticism, the speed of the game changes a little bit, but I'm not sure there's many conferences that really rival the Peach Belt in Women's Soccer Division 2 for sure.
So last one from me, you mentioned it about that decision making and the conversations with your players. How important is it to you for that to be a dialogue, a back and forth, not just dictating from top down?
Yeah, it's massive. Ever since I was a coach, I wanted to engage with players. I very much believe that if I can build a relationship and a connection with a player, we're going to work out the best way of getting the best out of that player. And that's really my core value for coaching. But also it helps them feel a part of it. Right? They're asking questions, or they're suggesting things, or saying, hey, you know, like, I've played as the 10 position a few more times than I've played as a wide player. Okay, well then can we rotate you in and see what you got there? Yeah, big believer in that. It helps with the unity. It helps with everyone feeling like they have a part. Whether it's a quick conversation during practice, or it's a 15-20 minute discussion in the office where we go through the whiteboard and tactics and stuff like that. I believe that's massive. What also helps is we're doing a lot of team tactical stuff now. So everyone is hearing the same questions, right? If someone has a question, there's probably 3 or 4 other people that have that same question. Now they're able to hear that and go, okay, builds confidence in them to then go, I have a question as well. And now we're getting them engaging and reacting and processing and all of that good stuff. And yeah, it takes some time. Believe me, it takes some time. But hopefully, as we get into the conference games, we are right there. And everyone is with the understanding and knowledge of, here's a problem, here's how we solve it. And that for me is the biggest part of coaching, really.
For you guys last year, I know you have big goals for 2024. What needs to improve to get further this year?
All right, so as you guys should know, we have pretty much a brand new team, like half returners, half new guys. So that's going to be I would say the biggest challenge right now. Make sure we get to know everybody, get to know how each player plays. learn about the tactics together, all the strategies, and I would say to improve, maybe more team chemistry. I would say that everybody be on the same page, more of that, and recovery is more important this year should be more important this year than last year, because I know towards the end we had some more knocks and injuries, and like depth will help us for sure in the long run.
Yeah, it's saying this year we have more young guys, new guys. Last year we had older guys, so this year a lot of the returners, a lot of older guys transfer needs to step it up and be a leader this year and lead the young guys. And last year we didn't have a lot of new guys, so we had our chemistry already for the past 2 or 3 years. This year we have a lot of new guys, so we got to click together this year, have that chemistry, and just believe that we can do it again, win the championship again, go to nationals, and maybe go further and win the nationals.
So you guys as leaders, how important is it to set those expectations, set those standards for the new players coming in?
Here we go. So how important is it for us to set those?
For each of you.
So right, like we said, it's new players, so they don't know per se like our identity. So we have like our, I guess you can call them like rules and like sets of rules that we have for each other. Our non-negotiables, for example, one of them being like if we lose the ball, everybody has to work their butts off to get back behind it. That's something that really helped us last year, for sure. So and you can see that in the stats as well. We had like the least goals conceded, or one of the top teams for least goals conceded. You know, just holding ourselves to a high standard, always coming on time, make sure we're dressed like with the same uniforms, and basically that's all it is. And then always come in with the right mindset to work hard, give your 110%, and make each training intense. So like we're getting better and better each training session, because we train with each other, so we have to make each other better. We don't get to train against like our competition, you know. So each training session, that's really important for us to get better and better each time. If you want to say something.
Yeah, accountability is key. You know, making sure you're on time, making sure everybody's wearing the same thing, no earrings. You know, we have the same rules for the past 2 or 3, 4 years. You know, we try to keep it in the high standard as possible, because I feel like if we don't, the program will fall down, and we don't want that, right? We don't want to have a bad year. We want to have a good year, and it starts with little details, right? It starts with like I said, how we dress, you know, how we put ourselves out off the field, right, and also on the field, right? But yeah, just accountability and having that mentality of being a professional, right? We're not a professional, but you know, but in our minds, we have to make sure, you know, we're pros, right? And I believe that will help us this season go as far as we want to go, and also after college, right?
For people that haven't met Coach Petersen, describe him as a coach and describe the kind of soccer that he believes in and wants you guys to play.
All right, so I guess you could say like you're talking about the tactics, kind of.
Yeah.
I remember before he was more of a direct kind of guy, like get the ball short, long. But over the years, we've built this new, how would you say, like new strategy of playing. Kind of like I would say Barcelona, Manchester City type style. So we like to keep the ball. We like to build out of the back. Be patient with the ball. Try not to lose it, because if you lose it, Coach P will rip you a new one, to be honest. So make sure you keep the ball always. Be patient, and then when you see the spaces open up, that's when you penetrate. You get to the attack. And that's pretty much how we play.
Yeah. So Coach P, he's a very demanding coach. You know, you lose the ball, he will, you know, pretty much yell at you, but you know, in a good way, you know, because he wants you to improve, you know, to get better, you know, and but yeah. This year, the past 2 or 3 years, we've changed the strategy. You know, now we're a more possessive team. So now we want to keep the ball. We want to tire the opponent, so that whenever we have the ball for, like, let's say, the whole half, you know, we want to have obviously the ball for the full 90, but that's not possible, right? But we want to have the ball so that we tire the opponents and we can go and be dangerous and attack and score. But yes, so that's our way, the way we play here at Clayton State, possession type soccer, and yeah.
When you look at the conference and how competitive it is, what's the most important thing that you guys have to do well to repeat and win the conference again?
Yeah, that's a good question. One main thing I would say is I'll express this as well with the team, to take each game just one at a time. Don't worry about like what's coming up 2 games after, 3 games after. If we're gonna go against an easier team or a harder team, I'm gonna say just we got to focus on the next game, whatever's next. All our attention on that. Do like a tactical session, see where's the weak points in their formation and their players. And that's kind of how we did it last year, so I would say repeating it would keep getting us, we'll get as far as well.
Yeah, I agree with Isami. This conference is very, very tough, you know, a lot of good teams. Even the underdogs are hard to beat as well. I believe this year we just need to keep the same mentality we had it last year, you know. I believe that every game is going to be a war, you know. Every game is going to be a war no matter what. Take it game by game, and no matter what happens, win or lose, we still have that thing in our head that we're going to win the conference, we're going to win everything, we're going to go to the national championship. But if we lose, I hope not, keep our heads up, chin up, you know, move forward. You know, we did that last year. We had, you know, up and downs. We had a lot of ups, but some downs. You know, in the beginning of the season, you know, we lost 4-0, but after that, we went like 8-10 games winning streak, and then we had 2 back-to-back games where we lost twice. But after that, undefeated. You know, we did really well last year to manage. You know, and this year we need to do the same thing. You know, just repeat what we did last year, but go farther this year.
My last question for y'all: is there a specific matchup that y'all have on the calendar that y'all have circled, y'all ready for?
Always Lander. Always gotta be Lander.
All right. I would say, I guess the most the game that's coming up the earliest right now would be the Tampa game. That's where he just said that we lost 4-0 at the beginning of the season. That was kind of embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. We don't want to repeat that this year. We want to go and like beat them 4-0 at their house, show them that we weren't that kind of team, because we actually went further than them last season. They had a bad season, you know. We did so much better. So that's pretty motivating, that loss from last year at their house.
I agree with him, but I would say every away game, away games are tough. You know what I mean? If you can get a W and an away game, that's even better, because at home last year, I think we're still undefeated. We're still undefeated at home. So no matter what, anybody that comes to our home, they're gonna expect a good game, and an L, right? But yeah, I would say our favorite will be Lander always. Lander's our rival, you know. We beat them in the playoff championship. They beat us as well in the regular season. That was really a tough game. You know, we had a red card, but they're always a good team, always a good program with good players and good coaching staff. But I believe Clayton State can be any team this season. But yeah, we got it.
Early days in preseason, how has the group come together so far in 2024?
So as you know, like here in Clayton State, they already have a culture going on, and even when I joined last year, I was at GSW, joined here. I found already a culture that they play, that they're trying to keep. Coach P making sure that to keep that culture, which is they play, they keep the ball and everything. So the recruitment this year was based on this. We got a really not new team, but half of the team is here new. We're trying to make the group together as fast as we can, knowing that the season gonna start in September, so we don't have that much time. So we're working on it. The games were pretty good in the preseason. we did well. Everybody's coming together, as I said. So hopefully we start positively and we get a win in our first game in the season.
And then for you, it's your first time here.
Okay.
How would you describe the culture, kind of walking in the door, and how have you fit in?
Yes, it's somehow challenging to adjust in a whole new culture, like far from home. It can be challenging, right? And then I look forward to adjusting because I feel that it's cool. And then all the teams, the new players, the old players, they are all awesome. And then they give you open hands to whatever you want to do, and then encourages you to like embrace into the culture. So I find it like amazing to embrace into this culture and then look forward to working with my teammates as well. So
how would you guys describe, for people who haven't seen Clayton State play, how would you describe the style of play here?
So we actually here trying to work for each other, and we have a rule here, like everybody needs to go behind the ball if we lose it, so everybody needs to work hard. That's coming from practices and everything, so the way how you practice is exactly how you play, so we make sure we practice hard. It's actually, we always try to work more than the others so we can win it. You know, it's everyone is working and doing the same thing, which is practices, school and everything, but you always need to do that extra to be that special team or something. So also how we play offensively, we try to keep the ball as much as we can, not rush it, you know. So that's make us really special. Even, you know, last year we had a successful season doing the same thing. We won the tournament and the regular season, went to the national. Unfortunately, we lost against Limestone, that they were playing more direct. It was like quick goals that we lost our focus, but in general, it was a good season, trying to go farther this year, maybe win the nationals. That's our goal. So hopefully, yeah. Here.
Yeah, to add to him, what I believe is that Clayton State style of playing is like a little bit changed because depends on the new players that come on the team, some from Spain, some from different country, different culture. So it gets a lot better because we get to keep the ball, right? The game is like possession and like you want to play long, but we are trying to keep the ball and then we finding the loopholes in our opponent team and then using that loopholes to break the team and get results. So I believe that we will do great this season. Yeah.
I mean, just, I think from looking at everything and like kind of meshing with the team, how has it been getting to know everyone on the team, some of the new players and getting to bring them in for you as well? How has it been getting to know some of the players who've been here for a little bit? What has it been like really connecting, getting to know each other?
Yeah, so talking about, I'm from Morocco too, so it was a new culture for me coming to US, playing for, you know, college. It was different because we don't have college soccer back home too in Africa. So it was a little bit challenging, but we always make sure to do like team boundings. You know, we just chill at someone's apartment, go play something, I don't know, just hang out together and try to make that connection, make the team more solid. And that's actually helped us in the field too, you know, like you get to know each other closer and, you know, like more than just soccer, it's more than a game, as we say. So yeah, we try to do more stuff like that to get the team together. Also, you know, how we need to be disciplined and everything. So we try more to stay away from, you know, all distractions, especially in season. So that kind of helped too.
Yeah, it's been quite easy because if you join Clayton State, like you join the team, we are not just teammates. We are like most likely like brothers and families. So everyone like give you that opportunity to be part of them. And then we like does almost everything together, study sometimes in study halls, and then we practice together like almost every day. So it just get easy to know each other by days and days. So I just believe that it's great and easy, so no hard work, it's just easy.
Massive season last year and then getting back to the tournament. How different is 24 from 23 as you get started?
The biggest difference is we had a group of guys, 6, 7, 8 guys, seniors, the leadership of the team that were together in 21, 22, 23, and all kind of came to fruition. All those guys have graduated and moved on. Now we have 18 of these guys that have returned, and some of the guys are stepping up and fill those spots, and we got a lot of new guys coming in. And those new guys, the culture is there, but they have to buy in. The new guys have to buy into the culture that we built the last 3 years. And it was a wonderful, I've done this for nearly 38 years or something, 36. And there's been some lean years and fat years. There've been some great cultures and some that struggled. And the last 3 years, man, it was fun going to work. I didn't work for 3 years. I hadn't worked for 36 years. Anyway, where was I? So it was interesting because the first 2 weeks of preseason, when I looked them in the eyes, there were some of the returners had that, let's get going, let's get back to where we were look. And some of the new guys were like, what am I doing here? And when this crazy zip code, Clayton State. And we had a couple successful results in preseason. Of course, they say winning solves everything, and it sure helps. And we had a couple successful results, and they started pulling for each other. And I remember Wednesday, August 14th, talking to them, and I could see in their eyes, I was like, I got them. Here we go. They got each other. You could see the look in their eye. So the last couple of weeks have been grinds because we haven't had any preseason scrimmages. Our last one's Saturday coming, but they've been pushing. They're not taking their foot off because they've done this a long time, and you can tell if they're taking the foot off. Now we just started practice, so they're just now warming up. But that was the main difference, though, is the changeover of leadership.
How is Clayton State soccer?
That was a short answer, wasn't it?
No, we love long answers.
Okay.
That's what we want. How has the program changed from when you walked in the door to now? I like to try to make you think.
Yeah, man. No one's ever asked that question. I never heard of Clayton State. We started in the early 90s, and when they went for about 10 years, I came in 2004. So for about 10 years there, they were NEI, and then they went D2 late 90s. And I heard about it because my friend, the coach before me, John Roots, we had crisscrossed over the decades. He's currently now in Lynn University. He has one of the top programs in the country. He's won a couple of national championships. They're playing here, the 28th of September. We always like to bring back John Roots and play him because it's Alumni Day. A lot of guys like to see him. But John put us on the map. I came in. I was lucky. A lot of times coaches come in and will inherit not a good situation or inherit where there's a lot of guys gone and they got to build. I came in and I was blessed. I didn't have a lot of depth. I think we had like 2 or 3 subs, but I inherited a core of guys that had been together in 22, 20, or 02, 03. And now here they are, junior seniors. So in 04 and 05, man, we rolled. I think we took the next level to get to the national championship tournament, which they hadn't done, I think, maybe once, but they hadn't done it yet. So that's the next step. And so that's what we got accomplished. But John had, put in, he had the blueprint for it, and I just walked in and followed it and tweaked a couple of things. But, yeah, that was probably the biggest difference.
With this group this year, you guys were so explosive at times last year with the attack. Do you feel like it's going to have the same personality on the field, or are you still kind of waiting to see what that personality
I think it may flip-flop. We led the country in shots taken. We were top 5 in scoring. We had a couple All-Americans up top. I mean, it was fun to watch Clayton State. It really was. We let in a few too many goals. I think it's kind of flip-flop this year. I think defensively we're way stronger, more depth, size, whereas I think the pop up front we won't have as much, but I'm not going to close the door on that yet. I'm watching. We got a couple, 2 or 3, 4 youngins in that could replace, but it's hard to, you have Wilfred on the left and Gio on the right, yeah, that's tough to replace. But we'll see, man.
Tell me a little bit about Alexis, player that I've seen from his academy days and watching him.
From the Atlanta United days, yeah, man.
Yeah.
We lucked out. We lucked out. He wanted to stay near home. And Tony Annan back then was the director of academy, and Tony and I go way back. And you know, he pointed him out, and we talked. And I grew up in West Africa and worshiped Brazil, and the style of play that Lexi plays and Gio played and Victor and a lot of these guys play is how I kind of grew up, and I like that style. But speed of play is my thing, and I love the speed of play. And Lexi is the X factor. We call him the X-Man. He's unorthodox. You don't know what you're going to get. I've seen at every level people try to stay with him or mark him or defend him, and he breaks those ankles. And he'll have a turnover or two because that comes with the territory. But I give him license for that because he will win a game by himself sometimes. You know, it's deadlocked, and then he beats 4 guys and slams it home. He does some crazy stuff. So it's fun to watch him. I'm glad he's back his senior year. I wish him the best. You know, and hopefully he has a great year, and then next year he takes it to another level.
I mean, what has it been like for you watching some of the newer guys come in and really break through and getting to know some of the returners? What has it been like to see that chemistry and that bond?
Well, I've alluded to that a little before, how the two parties are merging, the returners and the new guys, and that's always fun. The demographics in soccer is way different than most sports in America, than hockey, baseball, basketball, football, right? We have 18-year-old to 25-year-olds. We have Catholics, Protestants, Buddhists, Muslims, atheists, you name it. We got guys from 4 of the continents out there. We got guys that speak different languages. And it really is the United Nations, and you see, and to me, it represents the 21st century. As people go into the workforce, no matter what it is, man, people are different. How do you get along? That's, to me, is the bigger picture. And to see these guys merge and learn, they're learning life lessons to take from here, tolerance and love, things like that. And that's what that needs to happen. I'm about to get fired up here, so let's go to the next question, man.
I think my next one is, you know, after coming off the huge successful season you guys had last season, coming back into this one, how do you kind of not get stuck almost, like looking back, trying to emulate what you did last season, but moving forward with the new guys you have and still being a successful team and getting those results, but not trying to look back, like moving forward? How do you kind of balance that as a coach?
I pay them a lot of money. A lot of scholarship. No. It's all money, man. Every year is different. It's like halftime speeches, preseason. You have to find, I'll tell you one thing is the fella behind me, Joel, has done a lot of the coaching where I've stepped back and I circle, and it's changed my life. It's changed their life because now there's accountability. They got to do what the coach is telling them to do, but I can see every eyebrow move. When I was coaching, it was, you had blinders. I don't know what's going on behind me, but now that eyebrow moves, I'll say, what's wrong? What's going on? Everything good? Yeah, There's accountability, and that has really changed going forward. But every year you got to find a different. If you don't adapt, you'll die. You got to find what buttons to push, and every coach knows this. So most programs do. So it's like halftime. I said that earlier. It's like halftime speeches, just trying to find how it works.